Okay, continuing with the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. We have if A, B, and C are the lengths of three sides of a triangle and the sum of the squares of the two shorter sides equals the square of the longer side, then the triangle is a right triangle. We've already gone over that on some previous problems. But we're adding to that and saying if the square of the longer side is greater than the sum of the squares of the two shorter sides, then the triangle is an obtuse triangle. And thirdly, if the square of the long side is less than the sum of the squares of the two shorter sides, then the triangle is an acute triangle. So our first example, three sides of a triangle are 5, 6, and 7. Is the triangle a right triangle, an obtuse triangle, or is it an acute triangle? So we're going to state a squared plus b squared, does that equal c squared? So I put a little question mark over the equal sign. A and b have to be the two shorter sides, and c has to be the longer side. So that gives us 5 squared plus 6 squared. Does that equal 7 squared? 25 plus 36. Does that equal 49? 25 plus 36 is 61. That does not equal 49, so it's not a right triangle. You can cross that out. And now we want to look at the square of the longer side, the 49. That is smaller than the total of the other two sides. So therefore, small less than means that it's an acute triangle. The square of the longer side, the square of the value on the right for what we tested, is smaller than the value on the left. So that means it's an acute triangle. Next problem. Three sides of the triangle are 9, 40, and 41. Is it a right triangle? Technically, is it a right triangle, an acute triangle, or an obtuse triangle? And this is going to be 9 squared plus 40 squared. Does that equal 41 squared? 9 times 9, 81. 40 times 40, 1600. Does that equal 41 times 41, 1681? And 1681 does equal 1681. So yes, it is a right triangle. And one more problem. Three sides of a triangle are 6, 12, and 9. Is this a right triangle, an acute triangle, or an obtuse triangle? So I forgot to type that in. So 12 is the longest side, so we say 6 squared plus 9 squared. Does that equal 12 squared? 36 plus 81. Does that equal 144? 36 plus 81 is equal to 117. That obviously does not equal 144. So it's not a right triangle. The square of the longest side is bigger or larger than the sum of the squares of the two shorter sides. When the value on the right, as I have it written, is too big to have been the square of the hypotenuse. It should have only been 117. Because it's bigger than that, larger than that, means that it's an obtuse triangle. Okay, hopefully those three problems help.